Shalom, giving all praises, honors, and glories unto Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kakwadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of the Church of Great Millstone, and shalom to the sincere and hopeful light. Alright, there's your brother Kodash Payah. And this lesson, we're going to get into how the Lord will preserve you in the midst of all judgment and death. Right, that's why David stated what he said in Psalms, the 23rd chapter. You know, as he walked through the shadow of death, he would fear no evil. Right? Now, this is Exodus chapter 10, verse 23. This is what happened during Egypt. It says, they saw not one another, neither, matter of fact, let me go to the verse before that. Verse 22, it says, and Moses stretched forth his hand towards heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. They saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days. But all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings. Now see, that's heavy because we're in the shadow of death, right? And back then, at this period of time, this is when the Lord was bringing out the 10 plagues that eventually let his people go. But it said they saw not one another, right? It says, neither rose any from his place for 3 days, but all the children of Israel had light in their dwelling. So that's powerful, you know, because even in the dark, they were able to see. And it was an actual darkness, you know, literally. And like, let's say even if there's a blackout, an EMP attack or something to that effect, right? Because there's nothing new under the sun, man. The Lord will have his men be guided with that light, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kakwadash, you know? And we are these earthly tabernacles, you know, so the Lord dwelleth in us, man. That light is within us. You know what I'm saying? So when we walking around, man, you know, seeing people, you know, the valley of dry bones, seeing how dead they are, seeing the wickedness they doing consistently, hearing the filthy conversations, you know, so on and so forth in this place, which is hell, right? Because hell, I forget the word in the Hebrew, but I know it goes back to grave. Why? Because people, through the shit they doing, the Lord has to bring judgment upon them. You know, that's why we have the opportunity to ask for mercy, man, and to pray into his true name, you know, and let him, you know, guide you through that darkness. You see, Psalms 23 and 4. Yeah, though I walk throughout the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. See, so the Lord, you know, he has to be supping with you through the spirit, you know? Just because you know you're Israelite, just because you know, that you got to wear fringes, that doesn't mean that you're exempt. You know, scripture say many are called, few are chosen. So that's why it was only an elect. Even the multitude that left out of Egypt, a lot of them lost faith while they was in the wilderness. You see, so really, man, that faith, that, you know, praying unto the Lord, hoping that he sup with you, is what's going to guide you. That light is what's going to guide you, like that tunnel. Like you see the light at the end of the tunnel, right? Because the prophecies we about to face, man, full-fledged, as we've been speaking about throughout the apostles on up, throughout decades, is going to hit in full throttle, man, full effect. You know, so you're going to want to have that light with you, just like when they was in Egypt, and they put the blood on top of the doorposts so they can be exempt from judgment. You know, and it was only an elect, a small few. So that shows you how powerful it is, because we're about to enter the second Exodus, you know, and it's about to get dark. And it's dark now as far as like valley or lowland. People are low in morals. You know, there's everything that happens here goes contrary to what the scriptures say. right? And most of the people follow after the customs of the heathen, the Babylonian custom, the Greek custom, Egyptian custom, the Roman custom, the Syrian custom, even the Moab and Ammon, right? That's darkness. They're in gross darkness. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. This is the book, pardon me. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 2. It says, "For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee." Right? So it's darkness on the earth and from the people. You know, if you're in the dark, it's hard for you to see. You're stumbling. You know, and that's how these people are. They stagger, but not with wine. Like the scriptures say in Isaiah. They're in darkness. They don't got that light to be able to see the truth, to see the judgment of the Lord, to see his workings, man. You know? And the Lord did that. It says, "And the Gentiles shall come to the light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising. Lift up thine eyes round about, and see. All they gather themselves together, they come to thee. Thy sons shall come from far, and thy daughters shall be nursed at thy side." Ooh, hold on. Salakia. "Then thou shalt see and flow together, and Salakia. Yeah, the heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee." And I was talking about, Israelites coming into that truth, man. Right? Because at one period of time, our people was considered Gentiles for following other customs. But once you see that light, because all these religions, and which goes back, I believe, to the Latin religio, meaning to restrain or hold back, right? Those are, the Lord called those the den of thieves, harlot houses, right? The Lord dwelleth in you. We are the temple of the Lord. He dwells in you. That's why the things we say, what the scriptures go into, how what comes out of man is what defiles him. Because we got to be men of our word through the scriptures, and walk accordingly, right? So this is Job chapter 12, verse 16. "With him is strength and wisdom. The deceive and the deceiver are his." So it said, with him is strength and wisdom. It's like here. Coming off of a bit of a cold. Verse 7, "He leadeth counselors away spoiled, and maketh the judges fools." Right? And even with Pharaoh, he had to harden his heart. Remember, Proverbs 21:1 says, "What? The king's heart is in the hands of the Lord." So the Lord is the one that's operating all this, man. And it's showing you the power he can do to make people awake and see the truth and put them to sleep in gross darkness, man. Why? Because what did John say? "If any man love the Father, the love of the Father," Salakia, pardon me. "If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him." Why? Because the earth is given, like it says in Job 9:24, the earth is given unto the hands of the wicked. That's the left-hand side, is darkness. They deal with the black magic and all that, the sorcery, the witchcraft. Just look at this society. You could do whatever you want. You could be whatever you want. You could eat whatever you want. Disobedience is as the sin of witchcraft, man. All right? So if you love this world, you love what's going on in this world, and you condone it. You can't serve two sides, man. It's either you with this world or you with the Lord. Straight up. And if you with this world, you're going to get fucked all the way up. You're going to be destroyed, man. Utterly. You're going to have to go through that consequence. When the prophecies come, martial law, famine, pestilence, all right? Different animals coming out just destroying motherfuckers. Remember, they spirits too. The Lord control them, right? Getting locked up, tortured, You know what I'm saying? The whole nine, man. So, verse 18, he looseth the bond of kings and girdeth their loins with a girdle. He leadeth princes away spoiled and overthroweth the mighty. Look what happened to the, when you read Daniel the 5th chapter, how the Lord destroyed that king that same night, right? And even had the Babylonian king thinking he was an animal. That was the plague of the mind. See? So the pride in these elites, man, the Lord is raising their pride. Because this is Babylon the Great, and it's going to be a great fall. It says, verse 20, he removeth away the speech of the trusty, and taketh away the understanding of the aged. Damn. He poureth contempt upon princes, and weakeneth the strength of the mighty. He discovereth deep things out of darkness, and and bringeth out to light the shadow of death. I'm going to read that one more time. He discovereth deep things out of darkness, and bringeth out to light the shadow of death. So this word is that light, man. You know, it's like the scriptures say. The thing, roughly paraphrasing, you know, what's done in the dark shall be brought to light. You know, so when you're reading these scriptures, this is what's bringing down strongholds. You see, this is what's exposing what's going on. You know, like it tells you about the skirt being lifted. You know, it's exposing the elites who's ruling this society. You know, demons and angels, and you know, secret societies. You know, the kingdom of heaven. So it deals with the balance. You know what I mean? But when you're walking in the light, in the darkness, like when you turn on the light, you know, somebody who got, you know, one of my family members had roaches. You turn on the light, they all scatter, you know, because they can't withstand that brightness. You know, when the prophets and the disciples went out there, even to this day, people see that. You know, yo, these are not ordinary men. To bring out and to do what we're doing, there has to be a powerful spirit that's leading you and guiding you and putting you in boldness to just stand up in the face of kings. You know what I'm saying? So you're bringing out the word of the Lord, you know? So with that, man, I hope this video was edifying and exhorting. I'm going to bring out one more precept and I'm going to close it off. This is the book of St. Matthew chapter 5, verse number 14. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid, which is Israel as a whole. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Seminole Indians, which are the biblical Israelites. You know, but the elect, the Lord is going to wake up out of that darkness. You know what I mean? It says, neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Right? You put it on, like in ancient times, they, you know, they dealt with candles a lot. They put it on a candlestick that's laid upon the wall up high, you know, so everybody could see what's going on in the room. They could, you know, when people tripping over each other and shit, you know, they want to see where they're going. They want to see what they're eating, you know, they want to talk to each other, see each other's faces, right? You put it on high so it can brighten the room. This word, and we're going to be brightening up this earth, man. You know, in the kingdom of heaven, we're going to be those lights. Matter of fact, I'm going to bring that out too, since the Lord put it in my mind to think upon it. Verse 16, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father, which is in heaven. Call Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Let your light so shine before men, right? Tells you to go out and to prophesy. You know, the commandments, what to do, what not to eat. Don't eat pork, shrimp, and lobster. Don't commit adultery. Don't pollute your body smoking weed and, you know, defiling your temple with these abominable foods, right? Don't worship other gods. Don't be murdering your brothers, robbing them, you know, so on and so forth. people see that. Because what? You're not a part of this world. Yeah, we're in it. We're in the flesh. We got to go to work. We got to, like regular publicans, right? But we're not of it. We're not taking part of the holy so-called traditions. We're exposing that. We're condemning that, Majority of people love this place, so they're going to see those that don't. That's how the Lord shows his power, man. And to those that believe, that got eyes to see and ears to hear, may be converted, man. But it's only an elect, a small portion. Right? This is the last one. Lord willing. The book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 23, going into the kingdom. When the kingdom shall be established on earth, as it is in heaven. Right? It says, and the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon, to shine in it. For the glory of Yahweh did lighten it, and the Lamb, which is Yahushua, is the light thereof. Ew. And the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it, and the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor into it. Yeah, because we're not ever going to sin no more. So we're never going to die. That the glory of the Lord is going to shine upon us. The earth is going to be bright. It's going to be beautiful, man. In righteousness. In harmony, in unity. You know what I mean? With Yahweh Shai dwelling, man. King David and all the apostles and the nations of Israel. And you know what I'm saying? The kids playing with the animals and the floor is paved with gold. That's a beautiful thing to think upon, man. And it motivates me, and I hope it does to you. So with that, till next time, I'm going to say Shalom. All praises. Call Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Hashem Ukar Barakatam to you brothers and sisters that listen, man. Shalom.